Yahweh's got a division. Satan's got a division. Remember, he mimics Yahweh.
Doug.
And Satan is going to divide things.
Doug, if I can just interrupt just for one second. You're talking about the mark of the beast and all of this. And I've had my doubts. I've been thinking about this RFID microchip. I don't want to take away from the powerful teaching that you're delivering, but as most, I don't know if you know, Doug, or were aware, but most everyone that follows me on Facebook, Christy's sister Auburn was rushed to the hospital the other day, and we were praying, and we asked for a lot of prayer because we thought she might be having an aneurysm. But while she was in the emergency room, she doesn't have medical insurance. We're all poor over here. So they wanted to sign her up for Obamacare, and she put her foot down because she is a strong advocate against Obamacare. She believes that it is, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and that's what's going to come out in the future. So she said, no way, I do not want, I refuse, I totally decline Obamacare. So they're helping her now to pay the hospital bill because she had to be put in the hospital with Medicaid. She gets a statement saying Medicaid in progress, chip refused, and that's what it said. I see in the paperwork, chip refused, CHIP refused, Medicaid in progress. And what do you think that means, Doug? I want to throw that one at you. She didn't say nothing about a chip. She said she refuses Obamacare. And the paperwork come back says chip refused. I thought everyone in the room would find that interesting.
Well, personally, Pastor Dave, yeah, I think this is the basis of the beginning of all of this, okay? They're implementing a system. Now, whether or not this is that the chip they showed today, the RFID, the grain of rice, is the tattoo that they're talking about in the at the end of tribulation, where everyone is forced. This is where it becomes you either take it or you die to the whole world. See, I believe that they're going to be fluttering volumes of people into these FEMA camps. It's going to be a door in, door out. Take the chip. No. Okay, you're going to die. Next. Take the chip. No. Okay. And I think they're going to take and put these people back into society, into a job under the heading of a social job. You see, when our paperwork and our structure in the government is being set up in such a way that here's what's going to happen, okay? The government calls martial law. Already in the documentation, there's nothing left in the commerce world that the government won't confiscate. All food, trucking, gas, and the list goes on and on and on. Housing, everything. They can confiscate the entire contents of the United States and distribute it how they want. And so when martial law is called in and all these people are flushed into these FEMA camps, take the chip, no, take the chip, yes, okay, here's the job, sit at this desk and do this, and this city will give you housing to start off. Right. See what's going on here? The pattern is consistent, and Obamacare is a piece of that. They want to chip everybody. Yeah. Is it the final mark of the beast? Is it implemented? Is it tied to it? Yeah, I do think so. I think anybody who would possibly accept, no Christian would take such a thing. They know if they put something in their hand that it's the mark of the beast, and this is the truth or dare time. Take it or die.
But there are pastors wanting to take it, Doug. These uneducated preachers are all for it. Not the informed, and not those that really read the Gospels and the Old Testament and the New Testament, and they have discernment and they seek the Father. Those are preachers out there that seek the world. Most of the preachers today have been programmed. Listen up, folks. The seminaries, the semi-Ramesseries, the cemeteries, they're owned and created by the Vatican in secrecy. They're
so many of them have been bought out or put together by Jesuits. Jesuits are not what you think. They're the worst, evilest group of, I don't know where they come from, but they're very bad. They've come into this world to destroy it. They have ever since they began. They're mercenaries for the Pope. That's what they were hired for. They go out and they fight wars, and they'll do anything to instigate wars. There is nothing, no sin. They are above sin. That's what they say they are, above sin. Satan has purposely set his own minions into the church systems, under pastors, under secretaries, under deacons, under you name it. I'm not saying that the pastor of your church or every church, and I'm not saying that they're all doing stuff like this knowingly with the evil system. See, many of them have been deceived and are doing things unknowingly. And they've gone to universities and they've been taught to keep the people, the sheeple, quiet and asleep. Do they come out and say, hey, keep the sheeple people quiet and asleep because we have a different agenda going on? No. No. Do they purposely tell them, don't start talking about Revelation? Yes. What are most of the pastors, I'm not saying all, but many of them, it's the same sermon over and over again. It's been handed down from the top banana of the church. You know, from a hierarchy. No, they don't teach on they don't teach on prophecy.
And that's the government and state-controlled church, the 501c3, who I think their boss is the Vatican. They won't preach against the Catholic doctrine, the Vatican. They won't preach against the Pope. Nothing at all. Nothing to do with prophecy to be fulfilled in the end times. Nothing. No teaching. Nothing allowed on the book of Revelation. And where do we think that all comes from?
You know, of course. And even look who the whore is that's been behind the church, who's been infiltrating the church, just like she did, okay, back in the days, you know, of the Israelites, okay, just like Jezebel did from Tyre, which is by the way, if you put Tyre together with Thyatira, everything about them is just like, and the Catholic Church, they're just like glue. They go together. Okay? But what about Sunday? You know, I can't stand it when I hear somebody out there. In fact, I unsubbed somebody the other day that I have been listening to for 4 years, and I don't agree with everything, but he put everybody who wants to keep the Saturday Sabbath into a category of false teaching, and I mean, he was really yelling it out. And for those of us who prefer to call God, Yahweh, by the name he told us to call him by. Now, you know, I don't make judgment over anybody. I prefer to call him that because that's what he told me to call him. Because I take the Bible seriously. I look at every word.
Amen. All those
one place in the Bible, in fact, it commands us to keep the Saturday Sabbath in the New Testament.
Amen. And all that don't, all that go and attend, and there's going to be millions across the United States tomorrow's being Sunday, are going to head in, and they're going to all dress up in suits and ties, looking like posh businessmen, and they will not use the name above all names, Yahweh. They'll just call him God, and they'll march in to that service, into that building with that steeple tomorrow, and they are all following the orders of the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican, and they don't know it.
Sunday was created by Satan on the Babylon side in the beginnings. He was everything the opposite. He took the opposite end of the spectrum that Yahweh did. Yahweh did his works for 7 days, the 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested.
Yep. Satan
does the opposite. And it was Constantine, a non-Christian. He had no other choice. Satan had no other choice. Christianity was running rampant all over the Middle East. It was running rampant in northern Africa. It was going crazy. People were dying. He tried killing millions of people in the name of Christ, and it didn't work. And yes, he called Sunday S-U-N day, not S-O-N day. It was after the sun god. He took all those pagan religions and he put them all into one. He said, look, now, we have a one-world religion.
Amen.
That's what he was doing, folks. It's the same thing they're doing now. A one-world religion under the sun god. There's not one place that says we shouldn't praise Yahweh on Saturday. In the New Testament it says, I command you. And we've got these so-called preachers out there that, yeah, they teach on Sunday and they don't want to give that up to the congregation, and they say Jesus, Lord, and Jehovah, which doesn't have anything to do with his name. Jehovah means you're calling him a heap of trash. Jehovah means a ruinous heap, period.
Amen.
Why do you think it's in there? Because Satan is in there. He's infiltrating. He's changing. He took all the holy names out of the Bible. All the names of Yah out of the Bible. There's thousands. Yah-Rusalem. Yah's city. Not Yah city. Yah's city. He took it all away. Now, I read the King James Bible. I use it. I always use it to read from. I reference to it. But when I study, you better believe it, I bring out the original Hebrew and Greek.
And that's and Doug, that's what pastors and preachers today don't do. They don't even read the scriptures and have the discernment to understand. Even in the ending, the very ending of the book of Isaiah, they don't even understand. But Yahweh said, from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath day to another, will all congregate to worship me. Then they're going to go to church on Sunday.
You see, we've all been fooled. We've been duped. All of our lives we've been lied to. You know, you can't even read the history books because they're